Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Barbara Alvarado Gonzalez and I'm the Society of American Archivists Student Chapter Chair for San Jose State University. Thank you so much for joining us today. A quick housekeeping reminders, please make sure that your microphone is off and that your video is off as well during the presentation. The presentation is being recorded and will be uploaded to our SAASC website within a week or so from today. Additionally, we are going to have a question and answer portion. So please write down any questions that you may have and save them for the end of the presentation, as we will be able to address those then. So again, thank you so much for coming, and let's get started. So as you can see on the screen, this is our fall 2021 membership meeting. Next slide. These are some of the agenda items that we will be going over today, just as a quick FYI. Okay, and first on the agenda is what are archives? So if you are new to the archive world, as many of us were, go ahead, next slide. Thank you. So according to the Society, according to the Society of American Archivists website, which is our parent organization, archives is defined in 3 different ways. So the first way is as permanently valued records. So what does that mean? That's meeting minutes, letters, final manuscripts, photographs, things like that, things of people and businesses of government that are deemed to be of continuing value. And if you are pursuing the archival pathway, that is a phrase that you are going to hear over and over again. So archives are also preserved for documentary evidence of past events. And it's how we find facts to interpret and understand history. So that's actually one of the components of archives that I find to be most interesting. Actually, can we go back to the previous slide? Thank you. Another way that archives is defined as the organization that works to preserve documentary heritage documents. And the third way that archives is defined is the building or part of the building that where the archives are housed. So for example, our library, the Martin Luther King Jr. Library, has a special collections and archives department. So those are kind of the 3 main ways that archives are defined within the profession. And if you want to read more about that, you can visit the SAA website, because that's where we found this information. So a little bit of background there. Next slide. So as a student chapter of Society of American Archives, our goal, our mission is to ensure that we promote archival interests through our academic community, that we provide platforms and opportunities for classmates and alumni to discuss archival issues, and also to help students engage in professional activities and enhance career development through networking events. Our student chapter is open to MLIS students and also MARA students at the iSchool. Next slide. Okay, and this is the current executive board. As I mentioned, my name is Barbara and I'm the acting chair, and I'll let the rest of my teammates introduce themselves.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jenny, the vice chair.
Hi, everyone. I'm Diana Haney, and I'm the secretary.
Oh, and then Rachel Sevilla is our membership director. She could not be here today.
Hi, my name is Serene, and I'm the blog editor of the SAASC Executive Board.
Hey, I'm Robin Seafelt, and I am the webmaster for the SAASC.
Hi, everyone. My name is Erin Castillo, and I am one of the social media coordinators for the club.
Yes, the other coordinators, Heather Reynolds, who also could not be with us today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kelly Roisman, and I'm the managing editor of Archaeota, and that's the chapter's open access digital publication.
Hi, I'm Christine Mahoney, and I'm one of the associate editors for Archaeota.
Great, thank you. And our faculty advisor is Professor Lori Limburg, who teaches a lot of the archival courses and is an amazing professor, and I highly recommend her classes if you are interested in the archival pathway. Okay, so that's our team. Next slide. Some of our goals for the semester, in addition to creating an open and positive environment for all of our members, we also strive to provide opportunities for professional engagement, share scholarship, job, and internship opportunities across all of our communication platforms, including social media and our websites. We recently, with the help of our membership director, Rachel, created a new SAASC newsletter. So if you haven't signed up for that already, please do so. It's, again, just another way for us to, outlet that we use to promote our events and what's happening, updates, things like that. So if you haven't registered for the newsletter, feel free to do so on our website, and we'll be providing links to all these things that I'm mentioning shortly. And in addition to that, lastly but not least, to ensure that we are able to host successful board elections at the end of the academic year. So if you're considering being part of a student leadership, I highly recommend that you look into our organization or any of the MLIS or iSchool organizations. I think everybody does a really great job of promoting the profession and ensuring that the next executive board team is properly trained so that we can continue to grow our archival community. Next slide. Okay, and I'm going to hand it off to our vice chair, Jenny, so that she can talk about some of the cool events that are coming up.
So hi, everybody. It's Jenny again. So I'm going to introduce you to the upcoming events that we have for these 2 semesters. And so the first one I'm going to introduce, it's the scavenger hunt that we have. And this was set up by the membership director, Rachel. She's not here right now, so I'll introduce it for her. It's pretty much just like a networking event with different activities and questions that will be sent out to everybody to learn more about archives and little fun facts and stuff like that. And so the date for that is Monday, October 4th at 6:30 p.m. And that's to celebrate the American Archives Month, which is in October. So I'm going to go to the next slide. And so here's the calendar for the fall and spring semester. And majority is 1 event a month. So I'll just read through some of the events that we have. And so in October, it's the scavenger hunt that we just looked at. And then there's a guest speaker from the One Archives at the USC Libraries. And so as you could see, there's different professionals in the field who are going to talk about their careers. And the things that the guest speakers are going to talk about are various topics of career development, introductions into their career. They said they would do a little peek into the archives at their job. And a few of them are actually SJSU alumni. So going back to the calendar, November 3rd is someone from the Getty Research Institute. And then December 7th is someone from the University of Nevada. And then going into the spring semester is February 15th. There's someone from SJSU. And then March 15th, There's someone from the Writers Guild Foundation in Los Angeles. And then April 20th, there's someone from Arizona State University, the La Briola National American Indian Data Center. So all of these events are going to be at either 6:30 or 7 p.m. And a lot of the times will be, they're TBA, but you'll see the announcements through Canvas. And also, if you register to be a member, you'll get alerts that way for the events. And that's probably the best way to get information is registering through the SAASC website. So the next slide. Another cool thing is all of the events are archived on YouTube, and you could see the recordings on our website. And it's a really great way to learn about different people who work in the field, to do research, to hear the question and answers that have happened in the past. And so I'll pass this back to Barbara.
Yes, thank you, Jenny. And like Jenny said, please check out our website, our homepage. That's where we post our upcoming events, and the registration link information, all of that is on our website. And now I'm going to pass it on to Serene, who is going to talk a little bit about our blog.
Thank you, Barbara. So as the blog editor, I'm just mainly in charge of writing the blogs for the SAASC website. The topics are mainly going to center around speaker events as well as archival topics. And as always, we would love and are more than happy to accept blogs from students. And the email, I believe, is right on the slide. And let me see if I could post that or something. Is there a link to the blog?
Yeah, we can post that for you.
Okay, and I think that's about it for me.
Yeah, just a friendly reminder, if you do choose to become involved in a student leadership position or like write for our blog, which we would love to have guest writers, this is something that you can put include in your eportfolio at the end of your time with the program. Next slide. Okay, now I'm going to pass it on to our Archaeota team so they can talk to you about our publication.
Well, hi, everyone. Yes, Archaeota is the open access digital publication. We do publish twice a year in fall, winter, and spring, summer. We do right now issue. The articles, there's a wide range, as long as they're related somehow to the world of archives. We're very welcoming of different contributors and what your ideas are. Since we are looking for our contributions now, I'm hoping some of you reach out to me after this meeting and ask about that. This is a great opportunity. It's a wonderful thing to have on your resume. Christina, I always bring you up every time, but when one of our team members was applying for a job, in her interview, the interviewer actually asked about an article that she had published in Archaeota. So it does matter. We do publish on the SJSU ScholarWorks. It's the university's open access digital repository. I was going to maybe share my screen with that, but in any case, all of our issues are there. We started publishing Archaeota 5 years ago, just over 5 years ago, and now have 11 issues under our belt. The essays in Archaeota, actually, if you can forward to the next slide. So The articles that we have published vary a lot. We have people writing, conducting interviews with archivists. One issue recently, someone interviewed Melissa Green. She's the archivist for Blizzard Entertainment, and she is an iSchool grad. We also interviewed someone who received a scholarship. One of our iSchool students received a scholarship to attend the Archives Records Conference. We have a lot we really welcome these kinds that are reflections on firsthand experiences in archives. So if you have had an internship or worked in archives, write a personal reflection piece on that. The articles aren't very long. We don't publish more than 1,000 words, so it normally ranges 800 to 1,000 words. This could be archives that you're interested in. There are, obviously tons of interesting archives out there, and writing a short article profile of the archives is a great thing to contribute. We do what I call think pieces on recent events and stories in the news. One could be, we had an article in the past about the closing of the museum in Washington, D.C. We had an article reflecting on the January 6th Capitol riot and the rapid response collecting effort that took place. So really, it's a wide-ranging conversation on all things archival, and we really rely on students because it is written for students by students to contribute your thoughts and ideas. So please reach out to me. I can, if you don't have an idea, I can suggest something. Also, sometimes people ask, is it possible to publish what might have been written for a class? And I say yes with a caveat, because usually that means you're adapting something. So what you could do is share your text with me, and I can look at that and make suggestions, because we don't publish research papers as such. That's something that the student research journal does. But all of these, often even a discussion post, the ideas in that can be adapted into an article for Archaeota. So any questions about that?
And like Kelly said, it's something that you can add to your eportfolio. So I would highly recommend that you check out the Archaeota just to see what these articles look like, and then really consider writing for it, because it is a great publication, and I give huge kudos to Kelly and her team for putting that together.
I can share my screen now if you want, and you can take a look at just quickly glance through one of the issues so people kind of can see what it looks like.
Okay, yeah, Jenny, do you want to give Kelly, make her a co-host so she can share?
Sure, Kelly. Give me 1 second. Yeah. It looks like it's not the last slide. Yeah, should we wait until the end to do that, maybe?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's do that. So, Kelly, is this your slide here?
Yeah, and that's showing you the ScholarWorks digital repository and what it looks like, and you search for our publication. We also have we have our annual report, and we also have our events archived on the repository. In addition, the events are on the SAASC YouTube channel. So that's it for Archaeota.
Okay, great. And Kelly, Amanda Green added a comment to the chat. She says that she will send an email about possible Archaeota submissions after the session. So yes, Amanda, please reach out to either the SAASC email or Kelly directly for that. Okay. Yeah, so if you like what you've heard so far, please sign up to be a member. This is through Canvas, as Jenny mentioned earlier. It's free, it's super easy to do. And basically what happens is once you become a member, our events get synced to your Canvas calendar. So it's just another, oh, can we go back to the previous slide, please? Thank you. Yeah, so it's just another way to stay in touch and to stay up to date with our events and updates that we provide the iSchool, our iSchool classmates. The steps are there on the screen, but you can also visit our website, and there is a membership section with the same information. So if you wanted to check that out later this week, you can. And yeah, sign up, become a member. We'd love to have you. Okay, next slide. Okay, and in addition to joining our student chapter, you can also become a member of our parent organization, the Society of American Archivists. And that's not required, it's completely optional, but something that I really recommend if you are truly interested in pursuing a profession in archives. It's $55 a year for students. And it's a little I guess expensive, but you do get access to a lot of resources. Personally, some of the resources that I really find super valuable and use a lot are the listservs. So on the listservs, you have people from, different professional backgrounds, organizations, and they post articles, job opportunities, which I think is super important, especially if you're kind of at the end of your master's program, which I am. Also, if you do decide, discounts on books, they also have a mentoring program. So if you are a member, they will hook you up with somebody that's already in the profession. And yeah, they become your members, so you're able to connect with them, ask them for advice, things like that. Additionally, another benefit of being, or again, if you're considering becoming executive board member next academic year, another really cool thing is that as executive board members, we typically get funds every year to attend the annual conference. I've had the privilege of being able to go the last 2 years, and it's virtual because of COVID. But even though it's virtual, I still I've found it to be super helpful and really interesting because you have presenters again from all over the country, the world, from different professional backgrounds, within archives. So that's another benefit of being a member of the chapter and also the parent organization. So that information is also on our website. Next slide.
Great. And Barbara,
Yeah.
so yeah, Kelly, thanks for being patient. I made you a co-host if you want to share about the magazine now, Kelly.
Okay, sure, I can do that. Let me figure that out. This will stop. Yes. Okay. So now what?
And
Okay.
let me know
Is
if
that coming up
great.
here?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So you would just look up SJSU Scholar Works and search for Archaeota. Here we are with all of the, and as you see, you'll have your you'll be as an official author on the digital repository. People will be able to search for your publications that way. I would just note that here we have our downloads, 339 so far for this issue. I do get a dashboard where they report to me on the usage statistics and how many downloads. And I got the most recent one. I was a little bit stunned because we actually show that Excuse me a sec. So we actually showed that people have been downloading our publication from 48 countries across the world. So that was yeah, that was pretty interesting. So we do really try to I mean, now that we know that too, we want to have something that's interesting that people enjoy reading. We do lots of pictures so we can get the showcase items from the collection when we're writing an article. I think that's always good because so many things, there's so many wonderful things held in archives, but so few people are actually able to view them because there just are so many things. So if you all want to download any of the issues, I can just show you a little bit of how it's set up. Just take a moment. I'll do this quickly. I know we want to watch the time too. So yes, here's our last issue and our contributing articles here. As I said, I did one on a rapid response collecting after the Capitol riot. That was just a short one. We have a review of one of our own SJSU special collections. And we had more of a reflective article about archivists and the roles they play. And Allison Quirin wrote about NFTs. We've all heard about those recently, and maybe this is a little bit about what their importance and relevancy in archives is. And we had another one about the environmental impact of preservation and digitization. And we had a farewell interviews with year, graduated in spring. And every summer issue, we put in our, let's scroll down, our reading recommendations, which are always fun. And that is about it for this particular issue. So yeah, go ahead and email me directly if you're interested. I put in my email there, Amanda, or for anyone else who's interested.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. Jenny, can we go back to the presentation? Great, thank you. So we have a bunch of different ways that you can connect with us. We have Instagram, through our LinkedIn. We just created a new TikTok account this semester, which I'm excited about. As I mentioned earlier, you can sign up through Canvas, or you can email us directly. And we also have our newsletter that you can register for. So I'll hand it over to our social media coordinator, Erin, in case she wants to share anything else about ways to connect with us.
Yes, thank you, Barbara. Actually, I'm curious for everyone who's in the meeting right now, if you can raise your hand if you're new to archives. I'm curious to know who is new to archives. All right, I see Ali, I see a few people. Okay, cool. All right, so we have a good portion of people who are new to it. I asked because I am new to archives as well. I came to the MIS program because I'm interested in so many different aspects of it. And being on the social media team really allows me to explore archives some more. So what you can't see in this slide is that we have pretty much every social media channel account you can have. So whichever one you prefer, you can find us on there. And I try to share as much useful information for aspiring archivists, for archivists that are currently working in the field as well. So if you ever find anything interesting that you would like to share, either that you found online, you think would be great on our social media, please feel free to send it to us because we're more than happy to share that. Sharing is caring. And yeah, if you ever have any questions, you can always reach out to us through social media as well. I know sometimes people have preferences to maybe email or Instagram, Facebook, wherever you go, you will be able to find us. And if you haven't already, make sure to join our Facebook group, follow us on Instagram, join our LinkedIn account, because we do post some really good information about the school, about our parent organization, and even just repost some of the stuff that we've already previously done. So if you are curious to learn more about it, you can find all of our stuff online. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat and we'll get to them at the end.
Awesome. Thank you, Erin. And I apologize. You should see information on the screen for our Instagram, our Twitter account, and Facebook. I don't know why that's not showing up, but I believe Diana put that information in the chat, or you can visit our website, and that information is all over our website. So yes, please follow us or send us any news that you may have about archives, like Erin said. Alrighty. Okay, next slide.
Sorry, everybody. There's information.
Oh,
If
it's a magic trick.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'll go
Sure.
to
Thank
the
you.
next slide.
Okay, great. So now we are going to get to your questions. So if you have a question or comment, it could be about the club, it could be about the parent organization, or even classes that we've taken, or about Archaeota, please feel free to unmute yourself at this point, or you can put your question in the chat as well. Okay, and to my team, if you know the answer a little faster than me, feel free to cut me off and chime in. Okay, so Ellen says, how do I connect with 6,000 members in SAA? Can you elaborate a little bit more, Ellen? Okay, well, I'm going to answer it the way I think. I don't want to misinterpret your question, but so yeah, so through the listserv. So SAA, Society of American Archives, when you become a member, when you pay the $55, you have access to different listservs. So those are like email groups that you register for. Some of the options are, if you're interested in preservation, special archives, academic, working at an archive in an academic setting, special collections, community archives, what have you. You sign up for that listserv, and then you will automatically get emails. Just FYI, Jenny, you're still sharing your screen.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing
Sure.
my screen at this point. So
Sure.
Thanks, Barbara.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's one of the ways that you network. So there's different listservs. You'll get emails from different people. You can respond to those emails. You can yourself post information regarding that's like pertinent to that group. You can also sign up for that membership program that I mentioned. You can join different committees. So those are some of the ways that you can network. Let me know if I didn't answer your question as well. I personally have really enjoyed being a member of SAA. There's a lot of useful information on their website. So I personally have really, I see a lot of value in it. And if anybody else on the team wants to kind of share their experience, please do. Let's see.
Sure. Hi, everyone. It's Jenny. My experience here has been really great. I've learned a lot about archives. I'm also new to this, so this is a way for me to practice a lot of different professional aspects for career development through like organizing events and doing research for different kinds of archives in the country.
Yeah. Let's see. There's a different question. There's a question from Sharon. I selected SAA as my free membership for Info 200. Do I need to pay additional fees? So no, if you were able to register, and for those of you who aren't aware yet, if you went to take Info 200, every student, everybody who takes that class gets a free membership to any LIS organization. So it could be special libraries, the American Library Association or SAA, you get a free membership. So once that membership expires, if you wanted to continue being a membership and benefiting from all the resources, you would have to renew. And if you apply to become an executive board member next academic year, you would have to renew your fees if your membership expired by that point at that time. So currently, no, if you have it through Info 200, you don't, but once it expires, and you can go into your account and it tells you exactly when your membership will expire. You might also get like an email reminder. And if you want, you can renew then. Okay, thank you, Serene. Let's see. Okay, are there any other questions, comments, anything you want to know about being a student in a student leadership position, or a class that maybe you're interested in, or anything at all?
So yeah, Barbara, it looks like there's a question from Sarah. And the question is, do we get an email when our membership has been processed?
Are you referring to the our student chapter or the parent organization? Or I guess I can speak on both. So yeah, if you decide to become a member to the parent organization, SAA, you should get a membership confirmation. It's been a while since I've signed up for a group on Canvas. So I don't really know if you get a confirmation like email. You might, but I think once you go to your like Canvas calendar, you should have a list of all the groups that you belong to, so you can verify there. Does anybody know if once you sign up for a group through Canvas, if you get a membership confirmation?
Most of the groups don't, sorry, I'm speaking.
Sure.
Most of the groups don't really process their memberships through Canvas. I think we're maybe the only one that does. So joining as a member for other groups, you probably just want to go to their website and see, they probably have a membership sign up somewhere. I'm also with the American Library Association student chapter, and we don't have a sign up at all because everyone in the iSchool is automatically a member of our student chapter. So yeah, it's a bit different. You'll see on Canvas that that there are, all the groups are listed there, and you can like add yourself to each of those groups, but just know that ours is the only group that will actually pay attention to that. So you definitely, find out what's going on with the other groups and sign up, because you just never know which piece of information is going to be helpful for you, whether it's an internship opportunity or something, or events. When you're talking about the Special Library Association, there's so many different events that are always so interesting and relevant.
Thank you, Kelly. And yeah, just personally for me, it was super helpful to I signed up for all of the clubs on Canvas through Canvas, and it was helpful for me to do it through Canvas because then it pops up on your calendar. So it's easier. It's been easier, helpful for me to kind of stay kind of on track of what's happening, because in addition to Canvas showing you like when your assignments are due, I can also see like, oh, there's an event tonight. So I think it's really helpful.
Yeah, so Barbara, there's a few questions, and it
Okay,
looks
great.
like we're good on time. Jessica asked, how do you get involved with student leadership?
Yeah, so for our club, we will host elections, I believe, in April, and we send out plenty of emails, notifications through our various social media platforms. So another good reason to follow us on social media. So yeah, we hold elections kind of towards the end of spring semester. And it's pretty straightforward. You register for the position that you're interested in. You can register for multiple positions. And at least for our club, we typically ask interested folks to kind of tell us about themselves and why they think they'd be best for that position. And then we hold a vote. So that's how you can get involved with our group. I have a feeling it's might be similar for the rest of the other clubs, but I can't say for sure. And just like our club, I'm sure that they'll send, I mean, I know that they send email notifications of when their elections are coming up, when the deadlines are, etc. So for our team, yeah, keep an eye out for an email towards end of March, early April for our 2022-2023 executive board elections, which I highly recommend that you all try to join.
And there's another question from Candice, and it's kind of two questions.
Sure.
And it's, are any of you following the careers? Oh, sorry. Are any of you following the archives career pathway laid out by the school? And if not, are there any classes you recommend for people wanting to work in archives? It's kind of
Does
two
any,
questions.
yeah. Does anybody on the executive board want to answer this one?
I could do.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'll do a quick answer. I am my second semester in, so I'm following the pathway. So the classes I recommend so far are the history of archives and metadata. All right.
And for me, when I first started, I wasn't sure because it was one of the things where everything looks good, right? All the classes. And so I just picked specific classes I was interested in, but I ended up kind of unintentionally following the archives pathway because those were all the classes that I found myself most interested in. So I did archives, preservation management. I think it really depends on what aspect, because there's like digital assets, there's preservation management, there's the general archives class. And then another class, if you like photography, that's really good is photographic preservation. That's only offered in the summer.
That one gets booked fast, I've heard.
Yeah, it's a lot of work and way more detail than I ever expected to know, and it was a steep learning curve for me, because me personally, my experience with photographs is just being in one or taking a picture. But it really got me interested in photography in a way I didn't expect. Even though it was just like, oh, this looks interesting. So I think they can all benefit you if you just really focus on what you are interested in. But I really like the preservation management class if you're into the preservation stuff, and then the photographic preservation.
Yeah, I've also really enjoyed like the metadata like the intro to cataloging. With Professor Bolin, I really enjoyed that class as well, and that's part of the archival pathway. But one of the or I think that's a required one that you have to take if you're pursuing that pathway.
Oh, I'm taking that class right now too, the intro to cataloging class.
With Professor Bolin?
Yeah, it's really good so far.
Yeah, I really enjoy her as a professor, and then I really enjoyed that class. Thought it was really interesting.
I did also like the cataloging as well and the metadata, because my background is in IT, and to me it was like a little bit of psychologically combining the IT and the archiving library aspect together, because it felt a little bit like coding, but not quite. So if you like that kind of side of things and the IT side of things, that also is interesting.
Just wanted to mention, we did publish a survey of archivists in our let's see, fall 2020 issue of Archaeota. I put the link there. We had just on the SA listserv, we had over 70 people respond to give us their feedback, and they listed, they gave their suggestions for which courses were most important to take, and other responses as well, as far as advice for people who are aspiring to be an archivist. So hopefully you can find that helpful.
Great. I'm going to take it back to the other questions. I feel like all that stuff's really good blog material, by the way. So there's a question from Jessica, and it's, what kind of time commitment is to be involved in the leadership team?
I think it depends. I can speak a little bit on that, and then if anybody wants to chime in after me, please feel free, because I think we've all had different experiences. So this is my second year as being a part of the SAASC executive board. Last year I was the webmaster, and then this year I'm the chair. So I think it really depends on your position. Some of them are a little bit heavier than others. And also depending on what goals you set for yourself. So at the beginning, at least for our club, at the beginning of every, during the summer, because that's when we have like our transitional meetings from the old executive board to the new, we set goals for ourselves. So depending on how much or like what your vision is for your position, some people set really hefty goals. Some people, you know, set goals according to their workload, because a lot of us work and are taking a full load of courses. So when you apply for a position, it should specify what the position's responsibilities are, so you can kind of gauge it that way. But yeah, I think it is a time commitment, but it's also supposed to be fun, and it's a way for you to network and get to know classmates as well. So I've really enjoyed it, my time as being a part of the SAASC executive board last year and this year. I've had a really good time so far, and I've been able to develop a lot of my skills and things that I can put on my resume. So I'm really stoked on that. If anybody else has anything to share, please feel free.
I just typed in a couple of things. Archives are always seeking volunteers, and there's some, you know, you can seek out the volunteer opportunities where you have to actually, you know, arrange something, which is great. But if you just want to like dip, you know, your feet in, the Smithsonian Institute and the Library of Congress have digital volunteer programs. They're super easy. There's no learning curve. You just kind of hop in and you start transcribing materials that they have. I found that a lot of fun. I had some free time just to kind of take a look, and you know, you pick and choose which document you want to transcribe, do as much or as little as you want to. So that's something to consider if you're just looking for, you know, an interesting opportunity.
Yeah, so I'll chime in here. Hi, it's Jenny again. And it looks like we have like 10 minutes left in this Zoom presentation. I highly recommend being a part of the board. It's really great professional development, and it's great for research. And I joined to put together events for guest speakers because I wanted to learn about different kinds of archives and how people have gotten there in their career. So I thought, why not do that with this group?
And I'll just speak a little quickly. So I joined as the blog editor because I believe writing is a great way to reach out to people. And plus, I love to write. But also, being on the SAASC executive board has already taught me or helped me improve a lot more in my teamwork skills. So I'd highly recommend it to everyone.
Thank you, Serene. And let's see, next question. We're going to try to get to as many of these questions in the next 10 minutes. If we don't, we will try to follow up with you via email. So let's see, next question. Marissa asks, I'm interested in internships or volunteer opportunities in archives. What has been your experience? What has your experience been arranging and doing these during COVID, virtual or in person? Does anybody have, and even if you're not part of the executive team, like these questions I think are pretty general. So if you want to share your own experience, please feel free. But does anybody on the board have want to share their experience if they've been able to intern in person or virtual?
I can talk a little bit about this. I haven't interned yet. However, I have been posting internship opportunities through SJSU. So I post those on our Facebook page, their Facebook group, excuse me. And there's a variety of virtual and in-person internships. So if you prefer to look for something that's virtual, you will have the options available through SJSU too. And if you do any of the internships as well, let us know how it goes. I'm just curious if it's an archival. You can have, there are two types. There's archival and there's non-archival internships that are posted. So either of those, we're just curious. I'd be curious to know how your experience goes too, because I'll be looking at internships for the next semester. I hope that answers your question.
And hey, Barbara, to chime in, should I take the mute off for people to talk in the last 10 minutes for this
Oh,
question?
sure.
or-
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Okay,
I'll
so
look-
I'm gonna do that now. Okay, so
And Marissa, I've actually been able to intern. I interned last or this summer, and I interned with the One Archives through the USC Library, and that's the largest repository of LGBTQA plus archival material in the country. I had a really awesome experience, and my supervisor Lori is actually going to be one of our guest presenters next month. So if you're interested in interning, I highly recommend that you look at the internship database that's on the iSchool website. They have a lot of opportunities. It's really easy to search, and that's where I've been able to find the internships that I've been able to do during my time at iSchool. Okay. So again, yeah, if you want to, if the unmute feature or the mute feature has been disabled, feel free to unmute yourself. Sorry, I didn't say that already. Let's see. Okay. So Kay asked, this is my first term in MLIS program. Does the school offer a variety of electives during the summer? I think they do. I don't think it's as robust as, spring or fall. I think one recommendation I could give or would give is if the summer schedule isn't up for this year, I would look at the summer schedule for last year, because that should be up. And I imagine that the courses are going to be very similar. If anybody, I only took summer once, which was this past summer. So if anybody else has experience going to summer school, feel free to share. But yeah, they definitely do offer, and sometimes they offer classes in the summer that they don't during fall and spring. So if there's something that you're interested in, I highly recommend that you look at when it's offered, because I've missed opportunities because I didn't realize it was a summer only course. Let's see. Any other questions? Yes, I believe Kelly shared the info for the transcribing. Kelly, did you send a link to the Smithsonian volunteer opportunity?
Yeah, if you look in chat, I sent one for the Smithsonian and for the Library of Congress.
Awesome, thank you.
It's nice because you really can just do it when you want, like, oh, I'll do it an hour here and maybe next week, a couple hours, whatever you want. And you can dip into just about anything.
Yeah, I've looked at the website, and it's super cool. I just haven't had time to do any of the work. But if you have the time, it's pretty cool.
And then write about it for Archaeota.
Exactly.
Just putting my plugs in whenever I can.
No, it's true. You can, and everything that we're kind of sharing here, all the opportunities to get involved. It's all stuff that you can add to your eportfolio, which we'll have to do at the end of our road here. So yeah, it's definitely, you can check multiple boxes if you're able to participate. Okay, we have about 6 minutes left. If you want to unmute yourself and just ask anything, comment, question about anything, feel free to do so. It might be easier. I just want to make sure I don't miss any questions as the chat is moving along.
Barbara, someone asked about whether or not we'd be saving the chat, and we'll try, but I also think that everybody can save it themselves. If you look in the box where you enter a chat, those 3 little dots, it says save chat, and I think that saves it to your local computer if everyone has that option.
Oh, I see there. Okay, it says unmute is unavailable. That's bizarre. I unchecked the box.
Oh, you guys can unmute yourself. I'm so sorry.
Hmm.
Okay.
Oh, Yeah,
Okay, it works
maybe
now.
there's some,
Okay, yay.
okay.
Hi, Kay.
Hello. I posted a question and about like when I last looked at job postings for random library jobs, most of them mention that they require candidates to have a MLS degree. So with somebody who's like pursuing Mara, can they apply for the same position, like since it relates to librarianship,
I think it
or vice versa?
depends.
Data preserving, all that stuff. So I was just curious.
If I may, my name's Alicia. I'm new, but over the summer I took a class from Connie Rodriguez about getting an archival position, and she said that most of the time employers will substitute Mara for MLIS. She said,
Okay.
when in doubt, apply was what she said.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, something else that I have been told from professors is if it's the degree doesn't match up exactly, or the position that you're applying for, you can always try to connect it to coursework is like an alternative option. Okay, so we have about 3 minutes left. Are there any final questions? I think we have time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions or comments. Okay, well, I think that's it then. For mentioning. Yeah, you definitely can connect it to coursework. That's advice that I have received from faculty here. Also to projects, to coursework in addition to courses. But no question. Okay, great. Well, thank you again, everybody, so much for joining us. We hope that you found the information that we shared today helpful. We hope to see you at our next event. It is the scavenger hunt. I believe the link to sign up for the kickoff event was in the chat. You can also find it on our website. In addition to that, we're also going to have an event in October with One Archives. If you think of questions later on, feel free to email us. We're happy to answer any question that you may have. I hope that you follow us on social media and that you join us through Canvas. Yeah, so again, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your evening and best of luck to you in your future coursework.